Now, it is true, to wait for an ordained spouse is never too easy, but when it finally happens, it is something very beautiful. Look at me now, I am married, but I had to wait. So what are the things that I learned? And what were the signs that I saw before I met my kingdom ordained spouse? Today's video, I'm going to share with you all so that you know for sure this is the one and they are coming soon. Be ready, okay? So number one thing that you must notice is that when somebody is ready for you, you will realize that you click. That is the bottom line, okay? You will click in what sense? There are different things that makes you to click. It is one thing for you to compromise. It is yet another when you realize that this is the best person I can have and whom I'm bonding with, whom I can gel with. Because the thing is this, when you see people getting married and then they separate or they divorce, it's nothing but connection. Because you can compromise and be with somebody. Remember, you need to be with that person for the rest of your life. So it is important if you can be with somebody whom you can see that you connect, they can tolerate you and you can tolerate their imperfections. That is a good indicator that you have met the person that is right for you. So, of course, the first sign is that you guys are going to bond, okay? And secondly, you will feel it even before you meet that person, that you feel like you're ready. But remember one thing, you could be ready and then after some couple of months, you feel like, you don't care anymore. Even if you don't get married, you are content with the Lord because you've been waiting. It's been hard. Isn't it what sometimes you feel or some people feel? The bottom line is, when your right person comes, it's not only a matter of at that time, at that day, you are feeling like, yes, this is it or not. The most important thing is to remember that when they come, are you able to look back and say, okay, I know that now I was content, but I know that previously I did wish I could get the right person and get married. But it's like you check at that time, that person that is coming, are they meeting all the requirements that makes them to be suitable for you? Ignoring how you're feeling at the moment, ignoring your attraction at the moment. If you are to check on the list and you see that this fits everything, that could be the right time for you to get married from the Lord, according to the Lord. Remember, there are times in which you might feel like you want to get married, whereas God says you're still not yet ready. Remember when he called Moses in the book of Exodus? Moses felt like he was not ready to face Pharaoh, to go to Egypt, to take over the ministry. But God said he is ready. God knew that he was ready. So even in your case, you might feel like you're not ready, but God says you are ready. And how do you know that this could be God? When you look at all that person has to offer, they are a God or a godly person, you gel and all these things, then that's when you see that, I don't see why not. Beside that, right now, I felt like I'm content being single. They are having everything else that makes them to be fit to be a spouse, So that is an indicator that that person is for you, okay? And thirdly, you will realize that they don't fight against your Christianity. Despite that they might be a born again at a time or not, I know that sometimes there are people who can testify that, okay, my husband was not a believer when we met, for example, or my wife whatsoever, but commonly with husbands. But then he started going with me to church and now he's born again and we're together. Yay, happy. So yes, those things are subjective. Hence, with this sign, all I can say is, be it they are born again or not, you realize they don't clash with your belief. There are so many women who would say that sometimes some men will start being insecure, start abusing them both physically or even verbally by them going to church, coming back late from church, accusing them of, you've been with men out there. You get what I'm saying? So that shows somebody who can be a problem, can be a burden in your Christian walk. So make it a point, when you see those signs, don't bother marrying that person because they're just going to hinder you. But then there are those that you can see that as much as they are not deep in Christianity, they don't have a problem. You invite them, they do go. You only can just tell that they are not so devoted as yet, but they don't clash with my belief. That could also be an indicator that that person is suitable for you and you can give it a shot, okay? The fourth one is check. How are they abusive towards you in any form or shape, physically or even verbally? Because those are the things that you're going to even see, or the signs that you're going to notice even before you get married. Even if they have never hit you, but if you can just tell that this person can swear, this person sometimes does threaten me, this person sometimes is rude or so, that is a red flag. You get what I'm saying? So you must watch out. That shows that person is not for you. But if you can see that this person has a soft heart, they are so sweet, and you have been with them long enough to even tell that it is how they are not pretending, then that could be a good indicator that that person is definitely for you. And the fifth one is this. By that time when the person comes in your life, you are able to tell that at this point, it's like you have rectified so much about yourself. You have matured. For instance, a teenager, when in love, she feels like, or he feels like, oh, I can marry you, but there's still so much which they don't know. But then, if you find that at that stage, you have learned so much and you feel like the next time I find somebody that loves me so much, I will appreciate it instead of taking it for granted. And indeed, the person comes and you can see that they are offering all. Whereas you used to focus maybe on money, or maybe as a man you used to focus on the looks and whatsoever. But then when at that time the person comes and you realize that now you are to take and handle and accept love at a different manner, and now you want to focus on commitment and stuff like that, that shows you are matured. That shows now you have changed and there is something that you have learned, and you probably could be ready for marriage. And when the person comes, it be an opportunity for you to showcase everything that you have learned from your past failures when it comes to romantic relationships. So that could be a sign that God is calling you to be married, okay? And another one now, the sixth one is this. You might be at a point where you find that you can feel it beforehand. So when you feel it beforehand, it might disappear for some time and you're no longer into it. But when it comes, it might come a year later, maybe almost 2 years later. But the bottom line is, when the person shows up, when you try to track back that I was once given a sign, I once felt it, you will feel that that year will no longer be that a long time to you. Those 2 years will no longer feel like it has been so long. The bottom line is you look back and feel like it feels like yesterday. So that would show you that at that time, God was preparing you that soon it's going to happen. But how soon, you are not too sure. And you shouldn't even stress about it. Just go with the flow until the person shows up. Okay? So those are the signs that you are ready for marriage, or your marriage is in here, and you should get ready and you should open up your eyes wider, because anything can happen. You can miss out if you don't watch carefully. So know when to be ready and get yourself ready and walk with the Lord, and it's gonna surely manifest. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next time. Stay blessed.